All right, everybody. Welcome to the Monk on the Mountain podcast. So this podcast is designed to emulate ascension, emulate a story, give you guys a platform so that you don't feel alone in your spiritual journeys. We're going to talk about things like the esoteric. We're going to talk about spirituality in all of its forms. We're going to talk about people coming into evolutionary abilities, also facing the day-to-day, what it's like to be a human here on Earth, and dealing with all of the regular things that we see on a regular basis, talking about emotions, talking about relationships, jobs and income, families, hobbies, professions, everything that you're into. If you hear little clickety-clackities, that's just my little dog running around. I'm going to get him some booties eventually. For this first episode, you guys get to enjoy it. So yeah, we're gonna talk about a lot of things here. So let me tell you first, the name of the podcast, The Monk on the Mountain. It's from an old tale, a story that I heard. And honestly, I don't remember where it came from. I've tried to look it up again. I've tried to find where I heard this from. Can't find it anywhere, so maybe I made it up, but I don't think I did. I think I got this from somewhere. The story is that there was a monk who was looking to become enlightened, and he left behind his city and his town and his family so that he can pursue enlightenment in isolation at the top of a mountain. And for many years, he lived alone, and he accomplished his goal. He accomplished his enlightenment. And over time, over many years, he watched the city fall into depravity. He watched the people become depressed and saddened. And he watched as their lives lost quality in all forms. And he realized that the enlightenment that he had attained on the mountain for himself was worth so much more if he brought it back to the people. So he came down from the mountain and he began to teach. And he began to share and inspire and lead people to their own enlightenment. So that's what we're going to do here. I've been pursuing spirituality for over a decade now. It's transformed my entire life, my perspective, my mind, my heart. I've gained abilities, unlocked talents that were dormant in myself before. I've been able to help others find the gifts that reside within their soul. And I've found that now, as we watch the world shifting and changing, and as we go through all the struggles, and we watch the world struggle, and we watch the world transform, and we watch it find its own identity, it's time now to come down off the mountain and to share all that we've attained, all that we've learned, and we want to give it to each other. So one of the first things I want to do is invite you. Invite anyone who's on the path. Invite anyone who's taken the discipline seriously and how they've implemented it into their life, how they've implemented it into their jobs, into their relationships, and into their heart. And I want to invite you to be a guest on the Monk on the Mountain. I want you to come down from that mountain of isolation, from the place you had to go to so that you can focus and separate yourself from the distractions, the energies, and the lower frequency experiences so that you could become more. I want to invite you to this place as a guest. We're located in Philadelphia. So if you're in the Philadelphia region, we would love to have you come to our studio where you can meet Sajin, my dog, and we can talk and you can share. So let me share with you a couple of things that I've learned. Number one, I've learned that death is an illusion. Not just a parable or not just a metaphor, but truly our consciousness is infinite and everlasting, and there are multiple dimensions of reality that you can exist in. You can pursue the experiences of existing in multiple dimensions right here, right now, while you exist as a human on Earth, because your true self, your fullest self, is not limited to one experience or one-dimensional locale. I've experienced this myself in my own consciousness, where 100% of my consciousness, 100% the fullness of my perception existed in another reality, in another dimension that was not here on Earth. It didn't have Earth-like rules, Earth-like laws of nature, Earth-like beings, and there were no limitations. I've also lived in some dimensions where there were limitations. I feel that each one of us has the ability, has the foresight and the perception to hold a piece of the picture, one piece. And if each of us put our piece of the puzzle and we combine them and put them together, we'll be able to see the full picture. And that's what's important right now. It's important to combine our pieces of the puzzle so that we can see more of what we are as consciousness, so we can create a roadmap, so we can create a foundation of truth, something that exists beyond conjecture, something that can't be disputed. Our science is getting there. Quantum physics is starting to prove aspects of consciousness. Meditators, spiritualists, the new science. It's all waking up. It's all coming together. And right now, the most important thing is about us coming together as people, coming together as spirit. The world has given us so many ways to divide ourselves, to separate ourselves from each other. Race, religion, ethnicity, nationality, favorite color, favorite food, style, all beautiful expressions of self. But it's been turned into division. It's been turned into difference. Instead of us all celebrating the beautiful tapestry that we represent as spirit, as individuals, as celebrating our differences, which is the way, the truth. We should celebrate everything that's different from us so that we can know more of what we are. We should celebrate every aspect we're unfamiliar with because it's showing us what else exists. There's freedom in this mindset. There's empowerment. There's love. It's so different than what we were taught. It's so different than what people are still taught to this day, what the children are shown by the actions of the adults. We have invisible lines that separate our borders between states and counties and towns and cities. Yes, there's a use for it, but it doesn't serve the highest goods. It doesn't serve the soul. If you're a first-time spiritualist, if you're a first-time radical thinker, if you're the one in your family who stands out or doesn't fit in, if you're the person that feels lonely because you think that there's more, it's time to turn on. It's time to give in to your highest self. It's time to give in to your ability, into your truth, into your practice of self. No more limitations. No more separations. So let's have some fun. All right, so we're going to talk about a lot of different topics here. There's really nothing that isn't on the table, nothing that's taboo, nothing that's, woo-woo as they describe it. Now, don't get me wrong, discernment is important. Discernment is very important. We don't want to be lying to ourselves, fabricating, imagining, and not be grounded in the essence of truth. That's what we're in pursuit of, as a matter of fact. We're in pursuit of grounding in the essence of truth. The highest truth. The funny thing about truth is that one person could be experiencing an aspect of reality and it could be their truth. But if they can't prove it to others, others won't accept it as their truth. There's like this blockage between what we'll accept, like we can only accept it as truth once we know it for ourselves, which is fair. But you must realize that there is an infinite world of infinite information for you to know. So it is conceivable that others could be experiencing aspects of reality that you are not, and that by you suspending disbelief, by empowering their experience, you may find the way for you to have these experiences yourself. Telepathy, lucid dreaming, dream mastery. I could talk, and you'll hear me talk for hours on dreams and dream mastery and dream experiences and the gateway of dreams into consciousness. Oh my God, what a world. I think that every single person in the world should be trained on dreams from their childhood, on how to master them, how to act within them, how to create within them. I regularly practice dream mastery, lucid dreaming, becoming fully conscious in a dream. And then once you're fully conscious, experimenting with energies, creating the elements out of the air, fire, electricity, creating out of literal thin air, right out of the ether, creating items, creating buildings, creating structure, vehicles, flying flying at such speed that your body feels like it's become liquid, becoming fully conscious and finding portals deep within the sea or as far high as you can fly that lead you to other dimensions of reality. Astral projection, out-of-body experiences. I'm going to talk about all of this. And for anyone that is inspired by these things or has any experience of them, I invite you to share your experiences here on the Monk on the Mountain. If you're a person who works with Kundalini energy, if you're a person who teaches chakras, not just the words, not just the concepts, but the actual experience of them, I invite you. Let's build a community. Let's build a community of fearless spiritual seekers, those of us who are not afraid, those of us who are empowered by our reality, empowered by our truth, empowered by our weirdness. You are the next wave of evolution. The ideas and the actions that we take now in this space and time will affect all of the future generations, all of the future people, all of the future children whose minds are so flexible. It's crazy. Their imaginations and minds have been hijacked by cartoons and stories, which are great and they are valuable entertainment. But imagine if we taught them that within their reality, they can shape it with intent. They can shape it with consciousness. They could shape it with energy. Some of these concepts are so foreign to individuals here in our countries that when you talk to them, they think that you're full of crap. They think that, you're borderline psychotic. Maybe you're delusional. But the truth is that you can control energy within your body. You can control how your body heals. You can control the state of your emotions. You're not on a roller coaster ride. You're in control of the ride. You're in control of everything that you experience. You can manifest your reality at such a high level, there's literally nothing that you can't attain. And the mind is so powerful that when you decide that there's some experience you'd like to have, the universe gives you downloads on every step to take to achieve it. And while you sit there and what people will call imagination or daydreaming, you're actually being shown the way. And all you need to do is walk the path and walk the steps. I've experienced this in my own life so many times. It's not even an experiment anymore. Now it's just about achieving mastery. Now it's really just about deciding, what is it that I want? What is it that you want? What is it that you want to be? Realize that anything that you want to be is already available to you because you want it. Now, obviously, if you're a middle-aged person and you want to be as good at football as Tom Brady, you have to be honest with yourself about what it would take to do that and realize what it took for him to get there. The hours, the time, the dedication, the focus, the discipline. And you got to realize if that's maybe not a possible reality for you at this time. But if you're a small, young person and you have all the time left and all the development of your life, there's no reason you can't be anything that you want to be in the world. The universe will present you ideas based on your capacity, based on your own evolution of what you're capable of. Intelligence is not a static number like they taught us. It's not just like you're on a scale, and if you're on that scale, you can't move the needle. I always say that if you move the needle in any way, any amount, it deserves enormous celebration. Whether you're a little stronger, a little happier, a little bit more motivated, a little less lazy, a little bit more powerful. No matter what it is, you should celebrate it because it's a gift. And each breath and each moment that you exist is a gift. That's why they call it the present. So we're here to talk about this. We're here to find it within ourselves. We're here to share it with each other. My name is Sean. You can find episodes of The Monk on the Mountain on your favorite streaming platforms. You can follow us on YouTube at Cosmic Temple. And you could find us on Instagram, Cosmic Temple IG. And you can find us on Facebook at Cosmic Temple. So this is just one of the offerings that we make. On my YouTube are some guided meditations, some insights, some spiritual philosophy. There's much more to come in the near future as we develop, as we grow. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone out there who's walking their own path and wants to share their experiences and has the courage to say their name and speak their truth. The empowerment that you get from this is unmeasurable, and how the universe responds back to you when you live in truth is splendid, unexpected, miraculous, extraordinary. So many of the ancient texts, they talk about these experiences of light and orbs and beings and love and transcendence. These aren't stories, they're testimonies. We have to get back in touch with our potential. The only way to do this is for us to share, for us to seek in sovereignty, for us to create in solitude, and for us to share. It is our purpose. You are creators. Everything you do is a creation. Every step you take, every thought you have, every move you make, they're all creations. What is it that you create? What is it that you wish to see in this world? What is it that you're bringing into this world? How do you honor yourself? How do you honor this gift which you're given every single day? Fall in love with the process. Fall in love with receiving yourself. Fall in love with being God in human form, existing within the mind of God. Experience your freedom.